Hello and welcome to Let's Unbound episode number 11. So today we are going to see Python nested loop and printing patterns where we are going to use nested loops. So first of all, let's see what is nested loops in Python. In Python, a loop inside a loop is known as nested loop. A loop inside the body of outer loop. So in this example, we are going to use for loop. And with this nested for loop, we are going to print multiplication table in Python. Before moving on to this program, I want you to know that the inner and the outer loop can be of any type. It can be either of for loop or of while loop. So it can be of any type. So let's see this program first. So there is a for loop here return. So here you can see that there is a bracket which is telling us that this full thing is an outer loop. So first of all, there is a for loop and here is the end of this loop. Now, as I told you, this can be also while loop. In this outer loop, I have given a range. The range is from 1 to 11. Remember, the 11 is not counted. It's always n minus 1. Now, this was the outer loop. Let's see an inner loop. Now, you have always seen that there is a for loop and after that, there would be a print statement, right? Or a variable would be allotted. But here we are writing a for loop within a for loop. And this is called as inner loop. Now, remember one thing. There's no limitation on chaining the loops. The outer loop can contain more than one inner loop. So, after this also, you can give one more for loop. So, it has no limitation. You can give as many as inner loop inside an outer loop. And for each iteration of an outer loop, the inner loop restarts and complete its execution before the outer loop can contain to its next iteration. What does this statement means? This statement means when you write 1 to 10. So it's going to take range of 1 to 10, right? Because it's n minus 1. All the inner loop statements, it will again go to the outer loop, check for the statement, and will again go to the inner loop. So this process continues. First of all, it will check the range of the outer loop. It will go inside the loop. And after completion of inner loop, it will again go to the outer loop. Just like an example of you take 3 meals a day, right? What happens in 3 meals a day? You eat it, you digest it, right? And then the excretion process. Now, after taking the range of 1 to 10, it's going to check for the next loop, which is in the inner loop. So this is also a for loop, which is going to check for the range. Same pattern will be followed, n minus 1. And then it's writing multiplication table, right? So it's writing whatever the range is. Suppose the range was first of all checked for one number, it will go again. And then again in the for loop, it will check for 1. So 1 multiplied by 1 is 1. So it will write 1. And the print statement is here. Now here you can see there is end and blank code. It means that it will execute the pattern from the next line. Let's see the output for this. So here is an output and you are getting the multiplication table in Python with the help of nested for loop. Let's create various patterns with the help of nested loop. Now, what are the patterns that you can display through the help of nested loop? You can display number pattern, you can display triangle pattern, star pattern, inverted pyramid pattern, half pyramid pattern, diamond shape pattern, character pattern, and square pattern. So the first step is to decide the number of rows and columns. Now you're going to take the help of user using the input function to decide the size of pattern that you want to create. The next step would be iterate rows. So just like the previous example, first of all, you will write an outer loop to iterate the number of rows. Of course, either using for loop or while loop. And in the for loop, you will give a range. Now next would be iterate columns. For iterating the columns, you will again need to take the help of for loop. So that for loop will be going inside the outer loop. So it will be an inner loop, and you are going to take the help of inner loop or nested loop for handling the number of columns. Then whatever you need to print, you want to print star or number, you will write in the print statement. Then the next and the last step would be add new line after each iteration of outer loop. Just in the previous example, we have taken the help of and is equals to blank quotes, which was used to add a new line using the print function so that the pattern is appeared in a proper manner and in a structure format. Now let's see some patterns and create them. So first pattern we are going to create is star pattern. You can see here these are the stars and how these stars are created in a structured format. So let's see how to create this star pattern. So just like the steps we saw, first of all, we will select the number of rows and columns. So here we will select the number of rows. So we are going to give number of rows as 5. Now for the outer loop, we have for I in range. Now the range is 1 and rows plus 1. Rows plus 1 means 5 plus 1, which will be 6. And you know, in the range, we always write n minus 1. So it will be 1 to 5. Now the loop will go for 1 to 5, 1 till 5. Then it will go for an inner loop. And in the inner loop, it says 1, I plus 1. Now what was I? Here, I in range. So till the outer loop works, till then the inner loop will work. Now it will say that print star and then a new line. So let's see a program to print a pyramid pattern. Just like here, select the number of rows, then iterate rows by giving it in for loop and selecting the range, which is 1 to 5 plus 1. And then again in the inner loop, we are going to write the starting, all the numbers are started from 1. So the number should start from 1. So it's writing J, so it will start from 1 every time after a new line character. There are repetition of the numbers in every line. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Here, then in the inner loop, it will say I, start from I. Means if it's 1, then it will type 1. If it's 2, then it will start from 2. And then 2 again will be printed because it will go in inner loop. And then print the statement. This is how a number pattern would be printed. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Keep watching us. Like, share, and subscribe.